Hi, everyone.
Hello. Welcome. I'm Barbara.
I'm Virginia,
And,
and welcome to MindSET.
So in today's session, we are going to be doing some questions and answers led by our resident mindset therapist, Darryl. Say hi to everyone, Darryl.
Hello.
MindSET is put together by a therapist, the staff at Body and Soul, and people with lived experience of mental health. We have the tools that work, and we really want you to have them too. We want to deliver those to you in a friendly and accessible way. So each week, everybody, we are building up with these different mindfulness exercises, and like Darryl said, practice, right? Because the more you do them, better. This week, we're going to have some Q&As. So we have M that is calling in to ask Darryl a question, and then Virginia is going to live scribe. Over to you, Darryl. M is online here. Welcome, M.
Hey,
Hi. So, Em, I understand that you have a problem. We're going to try and do some problem solving. So, what is it that you want help with?
one of the issues I've been struggling with for a while now is over controlling. It could be relationships or aspects of my life, and they've affected both of them negatively.
Okay. So what's the problem that you want help with? You want help with over controlling things?
Yeah, if I had to give an example,
Yes.
it could have been one time I was with a friend and they were going through an issue and I wanted to help that person. So I said, I've been through this issue. This is what I did, blah, blah, blah. But when I was over controlling, I'm like, I want to help this person a lot and I control like what they're doing, sort of as if I was living that life. And I can acknowledge like, oh, I'm doing this. This is I want to stop doing this because this isn't healthy. I guess it's affecting the relationship negatively.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's two things. There's two things. So first of all, right, when we want to solve a problem, yeah, what lots of people do is they quickly write down the problem, or they quickly think about the problem, and then they go straight to trying to think of solutions. And the first thing about solving any problems, right, is to make sure that you actually have the right problem, right? So ideally, much more time is spent defining what the problem is, right, than the solution. So I'll give you an example, right? If I said to you all, I'm an idiot, that would be very difficult. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Help me solve that problem. It'd be very difficult for people to solve the problem that I'm an idiot. It's like saying I'm over controlling things. Very difficult to solve because it's not very specific. But if I was to say to people, well, I've put on 5 kilos in the last year, and I keep having seconds. I keep having a meal, and then I have another meal 2 minutes after that. Yeah. So when I say it the second time, people are already starting to think of solutions. Oh, maybe you don't need to eat all of that second meal. Maybe you don't need to eat a second meal. Maybe you can eat half of a second meal. Or yeah. So the first thing, M, for you, right, is so let's try and be a little bit more specific, right? And also put it into either be more specific about what you're doing or not doing. So we can't solve this as a general problem, but let's solve it as a series of individual problems. So what is it that you're doing or not doing?
One of the things I'll be doing while I'm over controlling. So let's say in the summer I was practicing sewing, making clothes. I enjoy that a lot. The fact that I wasn't getting a perfect result, or I was trying to control it. I want the exact outcome that I wanted. If I didn't get that outcome, I would like become like depressed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the two words that I want you to change is over-controlled and depressed, right? So I want you to use two doing words, like what did you actually do in both of those? So if you want an example, I can give you one, but I want you to change because I don't know, because your brain doesn't know what over-controlling is. So what we're trying to do is put it into a behavior. I can do it if you, so what did you do when you were over controlling? when I say doing it, right, this would be like, say I was watching you on a CCTV, yeah, with this, and there was sound. What would I see happening?
Okay, I would say the best thing I could say, so instead of over controlling, I would say spending every aspect of my life on this. So for the sewing thing, I would spend like weeks just focusing on the sewing thing, watching videos, trying to perfect exactly what I'm doing. And then instead of the pressing word, I would change that word to emptiness, maybe. I've tried an outcome and it didn't go the way I wanted it to. Making
Okay. So we're halfway there, right? So far, the over controlling is I spent weeks learning about and sewing. Yeah, would that be right?
yeah, that would be right, yeah.
Okay. And as a consequence of spending weeks learning about sewing and sewing, what happened to you? So if we were watching this on a CCTV, what happened? Did it stop you seeing your friends? Did it stop you eating? Did it make going to sleep difficult? What happened as a result of that?
It demotivated me to continue sewing, I guess.
Okay.
The passion
Okay.
went, yeah.
So what we're going to do, right? So I've put this into a behavior, right? And a desire, and we're going to see, and you're going to tell me whether this sums it up in a behavioral sense for you, right? So I spent weeks learning about sewing, and it then made me want to stop sewing.
Yeah.
Would you say that was the problem? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And are you 100% happy with that? With that being the problem?
Yeah, I can see that not just sewing, but other aspects of my life and relationships.
Yeah. So great. Well noticed, right? Because what we're trying to do, you see, what we're trying to do is that when people get caught in how to solve problems, a common mistake for people is they take specific and general things and they put them together. And if we're wanting to solve problems, we've either got to be very specific about one thing and then apply it to other areas, which is what you're doing now. You're saying, okay, I can see how spending lots of time learning about something and then doing it then makes me want to stop. Then you apply it upwards to other things. So you go from specific to general, or the other option is to be very general about something and be specific. So today we're going to go specific. So we're going to go specific to general. So now you know that you spend weeks and weeks learning about sewing and then it making you stop. What I want you to think about now, right, is what would you need to see happen, yeah, for this to be less of a problem? So see if you can be specific again.
I would say the thing that makes me stop, the demotivation, is that the outcome isn't perfect. It's not how I desire it to be. If I get rid of this mentality that everything I do has to be perfect.
Okay. So you see so this is another common thing, right? So the thing about something being perfect, yeah, can you see how that might be a different problem?
I can see how not everything can be perfect. Like, what is a perfect outcome? I guess a better word than perfect would be desired or substantial, just above a threshold of how I would like the product to be.
Sure. So what we're going to do, right? So the way I would want people to think about the big problems in their lives, right, is that actually big problems are just a series of smaller problems. Yeah, or just a series of other problems. So we're going to put the perfectionist bit to the side, right? Because we're going to deal with that as another problem. So when we might describe that as, I keep doing things until they reach a standard that I'm happy with, but a consequence is I'm exhausted. So I can see how it links, right? But what would you need to solve this problem of spending weeks and weeks learning about sewing and then sewing and then that making you feel to stop, what would you need to see happen to think you've made progress? So would it be that you didn't spend so many weeks learning, so many weeks sewing, or what would it be? So what do you want the outcome to be?
The outcome would be that I've learned this talent and maybe not master, but I can see that I have improved.
Right. So what you would want to do is to see some improvement in your sewing. See, yeah. Without, just to, so is it just to see some improvement?
To know that I'm improving in this craft, I guess. To know that my progress is not useless, or like, I can see the benefits of it. Yeah.
Okay. So if you were to think of now, right? If you were to think about what would be the first sign that you were making progress. So you can look at it in terms of the weeks and weeks that you'll spend learning, or the thing that you want to stop.
Probably not dedicate so much time into it.
Okay.
Because if I put everything onto it, I increase my expectations unrealistically. Maybe if I maybe if I did it just partially, like maybe an hour a day, and then
okay. I was just writing it down. So can you see how as you keep thinking about the problem, and as the problem keeps churning around, the solutions are sort of just popping up a little bit more readily?
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So actually, I love that idea. It's to set a reminder about the amount of time that you're going to spend. So if let's say you were to set a reminder to only spend an hour, right? For example, right? You would set yourself that would be like a target to set a reminder to spend an hour sewing. And then what you might do is you might then problem solve issues either side of it. So a new problem might be created, which is, well, I set myself a reminder of 1 hour, but I noticed that when the hour was up, I kept going. So you then might problem solve that, and you might say, I don't know, you might say to a friend, look, I'm sewing today. I want to stop at 5. Can you give me a call at 5 to remind me? Or, so you see what I mean? So you're just solving each little problem rather than this great big idea of I'm so over controlling things that I'm depressed. So it's about breaking it down. So what would you do if you set a reminder to stop something at an hour mark and it didn't go that way? What might you be able to do then? Like, how would you problem solve that? I gave you one. Can you think of another one?
I would see why I wasn't stopping at that hour, try and sort of like dissect what made me want to keep on going, I guess, and try and think how to maybe try and not do that next time.
Okay. So the tip that I would give you, right, is to avoid, and really strongly avoid, the why question. Yeah?
Okay.
Because what a why question is ruminating, right? And I suppose the way I would get people to think about why is that why rarely helps us. We often think why helps us, right? But it doesn't. What what you can do is you can ask yourself one of two questions, right? And use the words what or how instead, right? So pose yourself the same question, right? But now use either what or how.
What is making me not obey like the hour rule?
Go with remember it was always about what you're doing or not doing. Yeah? So remember the CCTV camera, right? So you could say to yourself, what can I do to help myself stop after an hour? Or you might say, how can I stop after an hour? Yeah. And you might say, okay, I'm going to get up and have a cup of tea. So the what and the how, what that does is it starts to prompt you in looking at solutions. So yeah, rather than, because why you see why questions are unanswerable. So did you know that there are people all over the world, all over this planet, right? And they're spending hours and hours every day trying to work out why things are happening. Yeah. And over the course of history, they haven't really got that far. So the question I would have to you is, what makes you think on a day when you're really upset that you're suddenly going to work out why?
Yeah, when I'm at that low point, I don't think I could.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, my mind would just get cloudy, and I'll just think of, especially at that low point, when I think these kind of questions, I know at this point I shouldn't be thinking about these things, especially at low points. I should just leave it for when I'm better.
Yes. So yes. So this is about great, because this is about you understanding that, you know, you probably know your 2 times table, right? Yeah. But if I was to stick a crossbow down your throat and when I pull the arrow back and start screaming at you to tell me your 2 times table, you would probably find it more difficult, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And when we're so when we're a bit distressed, we think differently and we act differently. So trying to work out why when we're distressed is not ideal. So what you could do is, right, so let's try that question with you again, right? So when you don't stop, right, so you've gone over, the alarm goes and it's the hour. What could you do if you noticed you kept sitting there sewing?
What I would do, I would probably use the same example you used. Get my girlfriend or a friend to give me a call, get me out of that sort of like, I need to do this, like perfect, like that kind of mindset.
Yeah. So and can you see how this might lead to solving the perfectionist idea as well? Because actually what perfectionists do is they don't leave things. They just keep going. They keep trying to get more and more and more. So what you can do is stop and practice. And so lots of these different skills that we've been over these last few weeks would be doing that. So what you might do is you might notice, oh, I'm in an emotional state of mind. Yeah. You might notice, you might start becoming aware that you've got urges to keep going. So the answer in all of this is about what we do, not what we think or why we think something. Yeah.
That makes sense,
And so now, right, your girlfriend coming to get you off the task, that doesn't work, right? Because some solutions don't. What we would go for is, well, what else can I try? What else could I do? Yeah. Oh, maybe I'll try rewarding myself. Maybe I'll say to myself, right, if I do stop in the hour, which is what I want, yeah, maybe I'll have a cup of hot chocolate. Sorry, is that helpful?
Oh yeah, like definitely was. I can apply this to many aspects of my life. I'd say it was very helpful. Thank you, Darryl.
Okay, you're very welcome. Good luck with it.
So Darryl, can you tell people at home, what can they take away from that they can apply to their own problems this week?
Spend more time defining the problem into something that you're doing or not doing. Yeah. Spend the time putting it in. Spend the time putting an action, a problem into an action. Yeah.
Yeah.
Into something I did or something I didn't do, and then keep breaking the problem down into smaller and smaller bits, little actions. We solve problems with little actions.
If you have any burning questions, don't hesitate. Email us at mindset@bodyandsoulcharity.org.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And just another reminder that MindSET is not designed for crisis support. So if you find yourself unable to keep yourself safe, please go to your nearest A&E department and call the Samaritans at 116-123.
Yeah. Keep working on your mindset.
Bye.